All right, this is July 7, 2026, 12:14 p.m. And I'm continuing with the video that I recorded yesterday that's titled Car Loans, etc. So here is another turned down letter for the credit application that I turned in at one of the dealerships. Putting it down. Only 1 second. Okay. And my receipts. Starting with March of 2026. Here is my March monthly bus pass. I'd like to be driving my Nissan NV, but that's gone. Long gone. I actually had these individuals telling people that I'm not driving because of my drug and alcohol problem that I don't have. I have a regular license with the star. That means I don't have any restrictions because the records that Dominic Coletta has posted within under my name in Lyndhurst Municipal Court are completely falsified. Okay, that's marks. Um, 3:10:26, 9:03 a.m. 3:10:26. It says 3 closeouts, unique pretzels, and a gum travel tote. Okay, hold on. Let me see. March 10. March 10. All right, I left for the day at 7:14 a.m. A drone hovered ahead of me, north, with a white light shining at me when I walked out of extra space storage. It then flew west and hovered. That was the signal to the helicopter as I walked north on East 30. A helicopter flew from the direction of south to north, 7:14 a.m. to 7:17 a.m., March 10, 2026. I walked to Payne on East 30. I arrived there at 7:20 a.m. A helicopter flew on the west side, left of me, and then continued west and then hovered. I boarded bus 9, 7:22 a.m., Cleveland RTA to downtown, number 3806. I arrived at Superior and East 6, 7:30 a.m. I boarded bus Cleveland RTA 45. That's the Ridge Road. At 7:34 a.m., number 3503. See. Okay. Because I'm watching my words, I just wanted to read this ahead of time. I put the driver's side seat up on bus 45. The African female bus driver, Cleveland RTA bus driver of 3503. I put the seat up on the driver's side, those fold down seats. I put mine up. And she said, well, let me put that seat down for you. Well, okay. I said, I want it up because I've seen the urine, the feces, and the vomit. She said, hi, Gina. I never told her my name. Never told her my name. And I asked, am I known within RTA? And she said that she knows me from somewhere else and I was the same back then. From somewhere else. Okay. When? Where? Okay. I arrived at Ridge and Ridgewood 8:22 a.m. I walked to Mark's. I was there 8:26 a.m. to 9:06 a.m. I spent $14.89. I bought one pair of sunglasses for $1.50. Two pack of folding toothbrushes. That's the gum. Okay. Reishi black makeup bag for $3.99. The two pack of folding toothbrushes was $2.54 from Gum, G-U-M. I bought a waist pouch for $2.99 and the Splits unsalted pretzels for $2.99. Okay. I then walked to Parma Powers Library, 9:12 a.m. to 9:32 a.m. And then after the library, I walked to Ridge and Powers. I arrived at 9:43 a.m. I boarded bus 45 to downtown, 9:44 a.m., number 3914. At 10:21 a.m., a police helicopter hovered above me. I arrived at Superior and West Prospect at 10:22 a.m. So I arrived at Superior and West Prospect, and bam, there's a police helicopter. I boarded bus 11 to D. Myers Parkway, 10:23 a.m., number 3317. We left at 10:34 a.m. Let's see. Between 10:50 and 10:53 a.m., Cleveland RTA African male bus driver stopped the bus and exited the bus at the maroon and white building that used to be a church. A passenger asked him if he was going to pull off. He said, we're early, and his cell phone kept ringing. So I think he just wanted to answer his cell phone call. So 11:06 a.m. to 11:12 a.m., there was a change of shifts at University Transit Center. I arrived at Cedar and Fenwick 11:26 a.m. I walked to University Heights Library 11:29 a.m. They opened at 12 p.m. I was there from until 7:07 p.m. 11:46 a.m. A helicopter flew over the library towards Whole Foods while I sat outside on the step. 7:11 p.m. I boarded Cleveland RTA bus 11, number 3346. An African male on the bus, he kept repeating that an 11-year-old girl said to him, "You think you have a big dick." Cleveland RTA bus 11 driver didn't tell him to get off of the bus and allowed him to continue to talk that way. 7:39 p.m., Community College Avenue. The fire truck had the siren on. Bus 11 to downtown. At the red light with two vehicles in front of the bus. The light turned green. The siren could be heard. Cleveland RTA bus 11 driver beeped the horn at the vehicle in front of the bus that was stopped for the sirens that were clearly heard, and the Cleveland RTA bus 11 female driver drove around the two vehicles and was about to cross the intersection when the fire truck passed us. And once again, that was Cleveland RTA bus 11 3346 to downtown. And then I arrived at East 22 in Euclid at 7:47 p.m., at which time a white male lit a marijuana cigarette at the northwest corner of Euclid and East 22nd as soon as I stepped onto that corner. And I arrived at my destination, which I think everyone by now knows where that is, at 8:07 p.m. So thought I would just give that rundown of my day because so I could just show what were the closeouts of that purchase. All right, next is March 13, 2026, 3:01 p.m. Okay. JMB No-Win Purple Tote, $1.49. Okay, that must be a toothbrush. And 7th generation baby wipes, $3.69. The Smart Juice antioxidant force, distilled water, Walker's shortbread cookies, and I received a discount for the 1-cent bag. Target, March 13, 2026, 12:16 p.m. I purchased 2 packages of water wipes. They no longer sell 7th generation baby wipes anywhere, so if they were discontinued, I'm really surprised because those were really nice wipes. Dave's Lee Road in Cleveland Heights. I bought Itzio bread. Fig bread and then the regular bread. Okay. March 13. Days. 2 organic exchange milk chocolate candy bars. That's what I purchased for $4.99. And 2 Itzio fig and honey 14-ounce bread for $2.99 each. So the candy bars are $4.99, and the Itzio fig and honey bread, 14-ounce, are $2.99. Very good bread. But I'm glad I checked because I was wrong as to what it was. And then March 13, 2026, 12:52 p.m. Whole Foods, Cedar University, organic sweet cherries, plain yogurt, and Milk Boy anywhere. Okay. Denny's Restaurant, Youngstown, Ohio. Let's see, what's the date? 3/15. Okay. And what time? Oh, it says AM. 2:27 AM. (3:15:26). Okay. So I worked a job from 8 AM to 12:42 AM, 2 people ready, in Youngstown. It was a banquet facility. And okay, from there, I went to Denny's, 1:26 AM to 3:05 AM to waste time because I then needed to take a Greyhound, Pittsburgh Greyhound, at 6:05 AM. Okay. Pittsburgh Greyhound, 6:05 AM to 1:57 PM. Because then I got a long time assignment in Pittsburgh, which was really beautiful. And I ended up in Pittsburgh for quite a while with these jobs. Because then the job was actually extended, which was awesome. But don't get your hopes up. All right. March 27, 2026. See that date. Let me make sure. Target. What's this date? March 27. Let me verify. March 27. Okay. Yep. I was there from 8:30 p.m. to 9:19 p.m. All right. And that's one Martinelli's apple juice. 1 liter, $4.99. I actually returned that. And then one Belgioso mozzarella log for 8 ounces, $4.59. One Good and Gather organic Gala apples, $3.49. Good and Gather gallon distilled water, $1.39. Organic milk, vanilla almond milk, $5.99. I stated that I returned it because the price was incorrect. And organic chameleon coffee. It was on the shelf for $5.99. I was charged $11.99, so I also returned that. So there were a few price discrepancies between the shelf and what I was in charge at the register. Because as I'm shopping, I'm putting the prices down. So I'm picking up what I need. So I'll pick up the Belgioso, put it in the cart, and then I'll put $4.59. And then I go to the register, and then if it's different, I'll just return it. Unless it's something that no one else carries, then I'll just ask, can this be fixed? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I was in Target for, I was in Pittsburgh for a long time. I really, 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 really like Pittsburgh a lot. Pittsburgh is really nice. One thing I don't like is when you're downtown, it's just too many people smoking. I stayed here for a night, and that guy is just a dishonest bastard. He said he didn't charge a deposit. Well, he can't make up his mind if he charges a deposit. All right, March 23rd, 2026, 9:40 p.m. Boulder Canyon potato chips. OUAF. Oh, Once Upon a Farm. They're little fruit cookies. Walker's shortbread cookies, Belgioso, Itzio bread, and milk organic almond milk. Okay. Denny's again. Which means that I had to waste time. And this is after I got off the bus at Greyhound. Because I can't go straight home, right? I don't have one. And it's not because I haven't busted my ass to get one. But, so, I have to waste time at Denny's until the place that I'm sleeping opens. Me. Yep. The one who planned to be an accountant and then met the restaurant industry and fell in love, and then wanted to open my own cafe, in which I currently have 2 businesses, but I need the money to actually rent the kitchen. Because who knows? Who knows? From with all this bullshit. All right. 3/23/26, maybe that says. Jenny's. Three 8/26. It was way off. All right. I was at Tower City at 12 a.m. Well, first I left Youngstown. I went to Youngstown again for a job. And then, so that was on the 7th, on March 7, 2026. I arrived in Cleveland. I left the banquet job at 10:40 p.m. A coworker, gave me a ride over to Tower City, and I arrived there at 12 a.m. His name was Gary. We went on the turnpike, and he used his Easy Pass to get through the turnpike. And then we went to Towers. We were at Tower City, and that was for People Ready, Jeffrey Crystals at the Maronite Center, 1555 South Meridian. I was there at 8:03 a.m. located in front of a church, and then there was no Sunday bus, and so I had the job on March 7, 2026 on Saturday, and then the Sunday, there's no Sunday bus. So this guy then gave me a ride. March 7, 2026. 7. Jeffrey Crystals. People Ready. Okay. So I'm going to click on that. It was a banquet server. It says dishwashing, but I did both. I did. They did say that they needed to change, banquet server. And it's a really nice place, but the young girls, they're very inexperienced, and they were just claimed that grabbing the two. Oh, they're grabbing two of the buffet pans away from the fire at this away from the sterno at the same time can cause a fire, according to one of the young girls, and that there's certain plates that you take off right after dinner, and they told me to leave them on because they had to be used for dessert. And that's fine, hey, if that's how they want it, that's fine. But then I don't want to get in trouble by the owners who then want to come to me and say, why is that still on the table when those plates should be off? They're just for dinner. So it was kind of like a catch-22. Okay, so I then went to Denny's after I took the train. So the guy dropped me off, this Gary, went through the turnpike with his Easy Pass. And Tower City, 12 a.m. I took the red line, 12:13 a.m., number 188. I arrived at Puritas at 12:36 a.m. And I went to Denny's, and I stayed at Denny's until 5 a.m. Rice, Oreo shake. Okay. And coffee. Vanilla milkshake, coffee, and wild rice. Vanilla milkshake, $5.99, coffee, $3.49, wild rice, $4.19, $1.09 tax, $14.76, and a $4 tip. Then a guy An African male sat on my left-hand side and played Hispanic music really loud in the restaurant. He wore sunglasses. It's dark out, but he wore sunglasses. He played Hispanic music, and when I stood up to ask for the check, he was looking at me. Where's she going? When I paid for the check, he left. He waited in his black sedan for me to pay. He then drove into the gas station parking drive. You think I'm kidding about this stuff? I walked to the Puritas station. I arrived 5:09 a.m. I took the red line, 5:08 a.m. As I was walking up the driveway of the train station, oh, I didn't finish that thought. Yeah, shoot. Okay. All right. Red line came early at 5:08 a.m. Oh, okay. I see. I did finish a thought. I was walking to the Puritas station at 5:09 a.m. The red line came early at 5:08 a.m. as I was walking up the driveway to the of the train station. And then I arrived in Tower City at 5:51 a.m. And a white male transit cop arrived at the top of the escalator and kept his eyes on me. Oh, goodness gracious. And I walked to Euclid Tower City. So Euclid Avenue, right outside of Tower City. And I arrived there at 5:52 a.m. and then I boarded the Health Line 5:52 a.m. number 6011 going towards Stokes Windermere. I arrived at Euclid and East 30 at 6:02 a.m. and then I walked to my destination, which I arrived at 6:08 a.m. Right, and ordered 2 packages of hair coloring from Vitamin Shop. Okay. March 25, 2026. I was once again in Pittsburgh for another job. Very nice area too, where I was, where I had the hotel through Priceline. Good and Gather water, $1.39. Good and Gather vegetable, $4.19. Walker shortbread cookies, Once Upon a Farm. Those little, they're little cookies. I bought two boxes of Once Upon a Farm, Boulder Canyon potato chips, 2 Boulder Canyon potato chips, and Itzio bread. Target also sell Itzio bread. Okay. All right. Um, 3:28 p.m. Okay, this is when I returned everything that I was. This is when I returned everything. For Target. The things that I stated. Okay. The Malk Organic Almond Milk, $5.99. I wasn't overcharged for that. But I decided to just, and the Martinelli's apple juice, but I decided to just return those anyways. Because I was actually going to put the coffee that I was overcharged for in the Malk almond milk. And then I just decided, you know what, I have the water, I'm just going to return all of this and just drink the water. All right, so this is badly faded, but I did write what I purchased on the top of the receipt. March 30, 2026 at 9:55 p.m. Target. And then April. Now I'm going to cut this off at, I think, 40 minutes because, well, no, actually I can actually go for an hour. This is an hour 40 is where I ended up at my last video, and I'm adding on to that from yesterday. April 2nd, 2026 at 8:56 p.m. 2 Itzio bread at Target in Pittsburgh. 2 Belgioso mozzarella cheese. Walker's shortbread cookies. Good and Gather fruit. 58 cents, so those were bananas. Bertolli pasta. Good and Gather water. And Beechers. Oh, is that macaroni and cheese? Let me see, April 2nd. Okay. Okay. April 2nd. I worked at Parkhurst College, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and I went to Target at 3:56 p.m. April 2nd. Okay, I purchased 2 Itzio bread, $3.99 each, roasted garlic bread. 2 Good and Gather organic bananas, $1.99 a pound. 2 Belgioso mozzarella logs, 2 for $7. 1 Walker shortbread cookies, $3.99. 2 single organic Good and Gather bananas, $1.99 a pound, 29 cents each, 58 cents total. Organic beech nut sweet potato baby food, $1.59 each, $3.18. And then organic Bertollo tomato sauce and Good and Gather distilled water, $1.39. I stated that I returned the beech nut sweet potato baby food and the Bertollo tomato sauce. Okay. But I purchased it here. Okay. And then here's where I returned it. Giant Eagle. Oh, I think they're coming to tell me to get out of the storage, out of the study room. Let's see. Maybe someone else is. Oh no, good. He's going next. He's going next door. All right. So I can keep going until someone comes and tells me that someone else wants this room. Okay. April 8, 2026, 8:10 p.m. Good and Gather water, Itzio bread, Belgioso cheese. I love cheese. Okay. Organic Valley cream cheese, 8 ounces. And what is that last one? Apple 3 bags. Oh, apple 3. It's a bag of apples, bag of organic apples. $4.99. Okay. Califia Farms, that's organic almond milk. 2 of the Starbucks Frappuccino, Itzio bread, Organic Valley, American cheese, Walker shortbread cookies, and Boulder Canyon potato chips. I really like Pittsburgh, but I felt like there was a lot less trouble in Perrysburg. And it really is just a place that I just fit. Water, $1.39. Califia Farms almond milk, $5.99. Busy organic espresso, Boulder Canyon potato chips, Once Upon a Farm bars, box of bars, I don't know, like oat bars, and Organic Valley American cheese, $6.39. Itzio bread, $4.99, and Bitsy organic espresso. So it was buy one at $7.99 and get the second half off. H&M. I needed dress pants for banquet serving. They wanted them to be khaki. Complete waste, but waste of money, but Heinen's downtown. Where's the date? All right, April 16, 2026, 7:57 p.m. So when I checked out. Okay. They're closed. They closed. I told them they had the full upstairs and downstairs. I told them because that's downtown. Okay, so because that's a downtown area, they needed to make it more than just like a little suburban grocery store. They needed to make it special. You know, it's downtown. It needed to be like more than just a little grocery store. The manager, very well experienced, but I think he is more for a suburb, a suburban Heinen's and not a downtown Heinen's. I told him that he could do a lot with the space. They did have it as a wine tasting, and they had a lot of really nice seats up there. So when you purchased groceries, you could go up there and just eat. And it was so nice. I plugged in my Mac, and I would just go up there, just my almond milk, put some espresso in it, and it was on my Mac. And it was very nice. So I told him, I said, you should expand this. He could have made it into one of the largest Heinen's within the state, because they carried very little. They didn't carry everything that, you know, if you would go to the Mayfield Heights location or any other location. And here they're downtown, and they carried very little. Nothing of what, you know, you needed. It's just, they didn't really have a lot. and that was a mistake. And I told him, look, okay, I get it. You've been in this for a long time. But I said he should have made the upstairs a little cafe, the way Mustard Seed used to have it, in Solon. And the upstairs level. Or he could also have made it one of the largest grocery stores and had everything, increase their organic inventory, and done really well. And he said no. I told him that more than once. I even told more than one manager, and they've said no. Okay, they closed. I know the industry. I know it very well. And if I had the money, my businesses would be doing very well. But got a whole lot of interference, and no one, even those who participated, who believed the lies about me, not even are they saying, Gina, we got to tell you something. This is what we were told. This is who told us. We want to hear what you have to say. Okay? I mean, I can show them everywhere I've been, right? I was even worried about getting a ride from that Gary. He was African. So, I think I'm being told to leave this. So I was actually worried to get in the car with him. But he gave me a ride from the Youngstown Jeffrey Crystal's banquet facility to, he went through the Ohio Turnpike and then dropped me off at Tower City. So hopefully he didn't make anything up about me. But okay, I'm told to leave. And I'm gonna post now this new add-on, and then I could finish tomorrow because I have a lot of receipts yet.